Hello, students. So today we're going to go over the answers to all the assessment questions for this section. That way it'll make you prepared to take the test. On the first question, it says fill in the spaces below with the correct term from the list. And this is over levels of organization. So if you can remember the acronym, Can Timmy open orange soda on Papa's couch every birthday? You can match the first letter of that saying to the correct order of levels of organization. Can would be cells. So we're going to begin with cells. Timmy is tissues. So tissues are anytime you have more than one cell that have a specific job. It's called a tissue. And then can Timmy open? That would be an organ. Stomach is an organ. It cannot run the whole digestive system just by itself, so it is an organ. Can Timmy open? Orange soda is organ system. This is a whole system that can perform a job. Although the stomach can perform the job of digestion, all the main organs working together, small intestine, large intestine, stomach, esophagus, mouth, they all work together to form a working system. This is called an organ system. And when you have many organ systems, you have an organism. So, can Timmy open orange soda on? So that would be an organism. All right, going on to number 2. An organ is a group of different. Let's see what this is. A group of tissues working together to do a specific job is an organ. An organ is a group of different tissues working together. Okay, so that would be the answers to these. An organ is what are organs made out of? Let's see. Can Timmy open? So the word that comes before organ is tissues. So an organ is a group of different tissues working together. And this one right here, a group of tissues working together to do a specific job is an organ. So can Timmy open? So organ. Okay, going on to number 3. Many organs together do a specific job. So can Timmy open? What comes after open? Orange soda, so that's organ system. So many organs working together do a specific job. It's called an organ system. And your skeleton is an example of an organ system. Because they all work together. Now, if I said your skull, then that would be just an organ because it cannot function as a skeletal system, just a skull. But all your bones together make up the organ system called the skeletal system. Number 4, the heart and lungs are an example of organs because just the heart alone cannot run the circulatory system. So it's an organ that belongs to the circulatory system. And just the lungs alone cannot do the job of the respiratory system. There's many other parts. So the lungs is just an organ of the respiratory system. Okay, now last is the smallest unit of structure and function in living things is the cell. And a tissue is a group of similar Tissues are made out of what? So what comes before tissue? Can, Timmy. So C stands for cells. So a tissue is a group of similar cells working together. Okay, going on to the next, checking for understanding. Also, same one. Ah. So we can skip that one. Here we go. Organisms and cell theory quiz. All but one of these statements are accurate. When checking to see if something is alive, which statement is correct? So remember, we're looking for the incorrect one. See if it moves. Watch it long enough to see if it grows. All living things grow. Watch it and see if it's using energy. All living things use energy. Watch it long enough to see if it will reproduce. That's probably your number one answer, so that's correct. See if it can produce waste or respiration, such as a gas called CO2. So yes, these are all true. The one that may not be true is see if it moves, because if you see a dead leaf moving across the front of the yard, it doesn't mean that it's alive. So moving or just considered alone is not considered to be something that tells something's alive. So the incorrect answer is see if it moves. Prokaryotes do not have genetic information. Okay, prokaryotes are the ancient cells, and eukaryotes are the modern cells. They're alive, they're cells. And just remember this, all living things reproduce. And the thing that allows them to reproduce is DNA. So yes, they both have DNA. Prokaryotes do not have a nucleus, so a lot of students think that there's no DNA, but the DNA just floats freely inside the prokaryote. All right, so here's a matching game. Prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Okay, we just said this. They both carry DNA. Eukaryotes have a nucleus, so they have a membrane-bound nucleus. Prokaryotes do not have a nucleus. And eukaryotes can be multicellular. In other words, a eukaryote can be just one cell big. There's a couple cells that come to mind, like a paramecium or amoeba. They are one cell eukaryotes. What makes them a eukaryote is they have a nucleus, and the nucleus has DNA inside. All right, so going on to number 4. Match the correct order or timeline that led to the discovery of cell theory. And I think it's in the right order. So first the microscope was invented. Then Robert Hooke was the first to see and coined the name cell, yeah. Then came Anton van Leeuwenhoek, was the first to see a moving cell. He called them animalcules. And then after that, Matthias Schleiden made a statement that all plants are made of cells, followed by a statement from his friend Theodor Schwann, who said all animals are made of cells. And then a Russian scientist joined in to say that all cells are made from pre-existing cells. In other words, all cells reproduce. All right, that wasn't the right order. Number 5, bacteria are unicellular organisms. And that is correct. Bacteria are just one cell organisms. Most bacteria are prokaryotes. Plants are multicellular organisms. Yes, anything made of more than one cell, such as us, or plants, or dogs, or cats, or trees, or grass, they are multicellular organisms. More than one cell, that's all that means. Number 7, plants can reproduce. All living things reproduce. Matter of fact, that's the one characteristic that I look for to tell if something's a living organism. If it reproduces, it's an organism. For example, do rocks reproduce? No, so it's not an organism. Does water reproduce? No, so it's not an organism. Does grass reproduce? Is it living? Yes. Does it reproduce? Yes. It makes more grass. Yes. Number 8. The correct order of the 5 parts of the cell theory. Okay. All organisms are composed of and this is using the graphic organizer with the hand. If you remember, the thumb is all organisms are composed of one or more cells, so that's the correct order. Oh no, this is the one. The cells, the thumb is the cells, the basic unit of all living things. And then the next finger would be all organisms are composed of one or more cells. I think all cells come from other cells is the last. Okay, no, that one's the last one. Every cell has specific function. All cells come from other cells. Reproduction. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. So the thumb is the cells, a basic unit of living organisms. The index finger is all organisms composed of one or more cells. The middle finger is all cells come from other cells. That's reproduction. And then the next finger that you usually wear a ring on when you're married is every cell has a specific function within the living organism. And then the last cell, the little pinky one, all cells extract energy from food to sustain the organism. There we go. Number 9. A good example of a cell structure, that means what it looks like, determines the function, it means what it does, is a blood cell or a nerve cell. Blood cells look like what they need to look like to do their job. They're hollow in the middle, or not hollow, but they have a divot in the middle, so they can carry oxygen, nutrients, or carbon dioxide. So they definitely look like they're made to do their job. And nerve cells, which looks like little alien creatures, they have a head and a tail, and they connect their tails and heads together to form like a chain, so they can communicate to the brain. So they also, their structure very much looks like what it's supposed to do to link together and communicate. So this would be true. And number 10, what characteristics proves that cells are comparable to live living organisms? Oh, because cells do require energy to live, just like we do, so that's correct. Cells do reproduce, so that's correct. Cells do create waste, that's called respiration. Cells waste is carbon dioxide. And cells do grow, they do join and make other cells. Matter of fact, when you were born, you started off as one cell and then kept on dividing, making more cells. Now you are 3 trillion cells large, so yeah, they do grow. And the next answer choice is all of the above, which that's going to be a correct answer. All right, well, that does it for all the answers for our review. Good luck on the test tomorrow. Make sure you go back and study any of the other sections that you were having trouble on. And I wish you the best of luck tomorrow. It is a 2-day test, and we'll be using the Eduphoria system to take our test. I'll leave instructions how to use it. Your password is going to be your login, and your password is going to be your school ID. And since we have 2 days to take it, do not hit submit on the first day. You're just going to exit the system, and then that'll allow you to get back into your Euphoria test the next day. If you hit submit, you will not be able to get into it again, and I won't be able to help you. All right. Well, good luck on the test tomorrow.